Recently, someone was corresponding with me. They got a tracheostomy tube and they were very self-conscious about going out into the public. They told me, every time I go out in the public, people are staring and glaring at me. I asked, how do you know they're staring and glaring? The person said, because they're looking in my direction. So I'm going to give you my take on people staring and glaring at you. This will apply for all medical conditions because sometimes we don't really understand what people are looking at. And furthermore, we sometimes don't know why they're looking in our direction. So this is my response to how I deal with people staring and glaring in my general direction. So let's get started. The first situation I'm going to talk to you about is one time I was in a doctor's office waiting room and a man was just staring in my direction. And I was thinking, is he staring at me? Is it because I have a trach? Is it because I have a ventilator? Do I have something on my face? What is this man staring at? And then of course I did the logical thing. Maybe there's somebody behind me. Nope, there was nobody behind me. So then I did the next logical thing. I moved over and he still kept staring in the same space. So he was no longer looking at me, just looking in the same direction. So I was going to give the man the benefit of the doubt. He was just staring off into space and I just happened to be sitting across from him and I was in his line of view. So that's the first thing. If people are just staring, see if they're actually staring at you, move. And if they're still staring into general space, they are just staring into space. We have all done this. I have been quite guilty of this. Just sometimes just staring at something and thinking about my day. Now, the next situation which may arise with people staring is they're staring and there might be several people and they're staring and they're kind of going back and forth and going like this. And you're going, I know they are definitely staring at me because they are moving their bodies, they're moving their heads, and they are looking at me. Now, I'm going to tell you a true story that happened. One time, Billy Ray Cyrus, yes, legendary Billy Ray Cyrus, was behind me. And so people were looking in my direction to look at me. I don't think so. No, I don't think anybody cared about me. They're just like, get that girl all the way. We want to see Billy Ray Cyrus. Billy Ray Cyrus was behind me and I didn't know. And I was just like, wow, everybody's looking at me. Okay. I mean, is Life with a Vent? Is my YouTube channel that famous? The answer is no, but Billy Ray Cyrus is really famous. Yeah, he was behind me. And I kind of felt like a little bit of a fool. Like the whole time I'm like, wow, people are looking at me. And then to find out somebody really famous is behind me and that's who everybody was looking at. And they probably didn't even see that I was there. A little humiliating. Brought down my pride and ego. Way, way down. Humility, just can't get enough of it. Another thing that happened one time is I was at an appointment and there were pictures on the wall. And I didn't know this, that this doctor collected, I don't remember, it was Rembrandt or somebody big, famous, expensive paintings. Anyways, they were on the wall. And so one time someone was just kind of going like this. And I thought they were like kind of looking at me, looking at my trach. And here there was a painting behind me and they were trying to look around my head to look at the painting. And I only found this out because after I left the area, then the person like got up close and then I saw that there was a painting behind me and I was like, oh, they were looking at the painting. So glad they could have told me to move, but maybe they're just trying to be kind. I don't know. So that's situation number 2. Situation number 3 was someone staring and glaring at me. Next, we have situation number 3. Situation number 3 is the person is actually staring sort of at you. Either they're staring at your tracheostomy tube, your ventilator, or whatever medical equipment you might be having. They might be staring at that, or if they notice you're in a wheelchair, they might be staring at that, but not because of you. They're staring because seeing you using this medical equipment reminds them either of their loved one. Perhaps their wife had cancer and they had a tracheostomy tube, or they had a laryngectomy, or they were in a wheelchair, or they were just horribly, awfully sick. And seeing you reminded them of that. And they might even start like crying when they see you, or they might get a little bit angry and agitated. They're not being angry or agitated at you. They're just being angry and agitated at the memories that it's bringing them to mind. Also, this has happened that people will see my tracheostomy tube and it will remind them of a time when they were in the hospital and they had to get a tracheostomy tube. And that's all that's going through their mind is, oh, I remember when I was in the hospital. Oh, in the intensive care unit. Oh, I remember how close to death I was and how sick I was and da 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 da. That narrative is running through their mind. They don't actually really see you or me. They're just looking at that, and that's just going through the mind over and over and over again. So again, they're not actually looking at you. They're just being reminded of your medical equipment, of loved ones, or their own personal struggles. Situation number 4, I call it the angry mad glare. Now, the angry mad glare just might be they're really mad about something. They're mad. Maybe their wife left them. Maybe they got in a big fight with their wife. I know I'm picking on the guys. So maybe it's a wife and her son got really mad at her. So anyway, something big, awful happened. Perhaps he got in an argument with a boss in the morning. Something happened and they're just mad and angry and they're just kind of just sitting there staring in your general direction. Again, they're not staring at you, but it's the angry mad stare glare. And you might think, oh, they're really mad at me. What did I do? They're mad at my medical equipment. Nope, nothing to do with you and everything to do with what's going on in that person's head and what you don't know. And you don't know why they're mad or angry. If you're a positive person and like to walk into landmines, you might ask the person why they're angry or upset. I have done this once or twice. Anyways, I asked the person, oh, it looks like you're really angry or upset. Did something happen or why are you so angry or upset? And the person will divulge to me often what happened to them. And a lot of times, like you listen to it and you're going, oh, it's absolutely nothing to do with me. It's because this happened or that happened. And sometimes just spending a couple minutes with the person and talking to them, they're no longer angry or mad. Just knowing someone cares. That's all most people want, is someone to listen. So number 5, I call it the staring because they are curious. Now, this is very frequent with little kids. They will stare. They will just stare at you because, let's face it, it's not every day they see somebody with a hole in their neck. Or they have a ventilator or a wheelchair. They are very curious creatures. And a lot of times parents are like, oh, Bobby, don't be staring. That's rude. And I'm like, hey, no, that's great. Keep on staring, little kid. Like, what questions do you have? Do you want to know how anything works? Do you want to take a ride in my wheelchair? Because that is minutes and minutes of fun. Watch out for those stairs. I mean, safety first. Don't worry, my wheelchair does have a seatbelt on it. So if you go down the stairs, you will remain seated in the wheelchair. Great fun. Anyways, so people are curious. One time I had this happen. Very inconvenient place for someone to be curious. I was in a parking lot trying to go into a grocery store, middle of the summer, the absolute hottest day of the summer, blacktop, just the sweating, I'm melting, get me inside because I'm going to be a puddle on this parking lot. It surfaced soon. Anyways, and this woman comes up to me and she's like, is that a tracheostomy tube? And is that a ventilator? And I'm going, that's what I like to call them, is a tracheostomy tube and ventilator. Yes, that's what they are. And she was just like, oh, well, I've never seen anybody outside the hospital. I'm a nurse and I've never seen anybody outside the hospital with a trach and vent. And she had all these questions and I was like, I'm really happy to answer them, but I'm out here baking in the sun. I need to get inside to air conditioning. I don't do well, Anyways, I tried to be really, really nice. So I'm just like, I gotta get inside. So sometimes people are curious. Sometimes people have questions and they don't want to ask questions. But I always encourage people because, the only time people have questions is they don't know and they want to know. And I sometimes feel like I need to answer their questions. And sometimes I don't feel well, so I don't answer them. And I'm just like, oh, well, they're staring at me. Get over it. So that is how I handle people staring and glaring at me. Most of the time, people are not actually staring or glaring at me. They're just looking in my general direction. I give them the benefit of the doubt. I never get mad or angry at people for looking at me. I sometimes encourage questions and I will answer their questions, but sometimes I'm just not feeling well. And I really don't want to answer questions, so I don't. But that is how I handle it. I give people the benefit of the doubt and just think, well, if they are staring at me, so be it. And maybe you want to think of yourself like a famous celebrity, be like, they're staring at me like I'm Billy Ray Cyrus. And then look to make sure Billy Ray Cyrus isn't behind you, because that'd be kind of humiliating. So thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. Please also remember to comment and share. It really helps my YouTube channel. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye. As I was filming this, I thought of a funny story that happened to me. One time I was in the grocery store and I really had to go to the bathroom. So I go into the bathroom, sit down and start doing my job. A woman walks in, goes to the stall next to me, and she goes, "Hey, how you doing?" And I say, "Good, thanks. How are you?" I was like, wow, she's really a friendly person. The woman next to me goes, "Oh, I'm not bad. So, what are you doing right now?" And I was going, "Well, I'm trying to go to the bathroom. And I think that's probably what you're doing too. I don't want to get too personal over there." The woman goes, "Hey, Susan, I'm going to have to call you back. The woman next door to me in the stall, she keeps answering all my questions." And then I'm like, oh, the woman next to me was not talking to me. She was on her phone talking to Susan. So I didn't want to kill the awkwardness. So I was just like, "Hey, tell Susan I say hi." Yes, I did. I did wait in the stall a really long time until she was gone because I was like, I kind of felt like an idiot. But I was just like, wow, she was a really friendly person. Want to know how I was doing. So now I don't ever answer people. So those are some fun adventures in bathroom stalls. Bye. All right, so that is how I handle people staring and glaring. I give people the benefit of the doubt. Usually they're not staring at me. Most of the time they're not staring at me. So, if you think they're staring at you, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Even if they are staring at you, just pretend like you're famous, like Billy Ray Cyrus. I can't even say it. Just pretend like you're famous, like Billy Ray Cyrus. Hey, let's start singing a song. You're famous like Billy Ray.